Your mental firewall has just been breached by left-handed radio.
Game cheer tide, laundry time. Gonna bring it to you one more time. Doing loads, doing loads, doing loads, doing loads. From the hipper to the wash, to the wash, to the clothes going all splish splash. All these clothes getting washed. All clean, clean, all the laundry. All clean, clean, goddamn. Goddamn. All clean, clean, all the laundry. All clean, clean, goddamn. Goddamn. Hey, welcome to the podcast for laundry. This is Brett Davis. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing laundry because this podcast is meant to be done as you're doing your wash. We are here in the Brooklyn Bubble Laundromat, and I'm here with a very funny individual, America's sweetheart, Sam Taggart.
Oh my gosh, so kind. Wow. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast for laundry.
I'm thrilled to have you.
I'm thrilled to be here.
This is your first time.
It is indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping for some beginner's luck.
Yeah. Well, you know, it'll just be fun. I'm going to do some we do this every time. As you see, I've put a bottle of Tide on the table. This is a thing we do on the show. As you see, the label is facing you right now. If at any point you don't want to talk about what we're talking about, if you want to turn the tide of the conversation, all you need to do is spin this bottle so that the label is now facing me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That makes perfect sense.
Okay, so I'm going to leave it as is. We're here in the back room of the Brooklyn Bubble. Is this your local laundromat?
It is. You know, I pop in here once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah. You know, how often do you laundry?
A couple times a week.
No. That's absurd. That's a waste of water.
Well, it's therapeutic. So do you mind if we just jump into this?
Let's hop in.
Okay. So we're going to start with a new segment. It's called The Front Load. Hold for bumper. In the front load, we front load the podcast with all the hard questions that we would otherwise get to so that once we're done, we're free to talk about laundry. So are you ready for the front load?
I'm ready for the front load.
Okay, how did you come out of the closet?
Oh, brother! Slowly and non-deliberately.
I get more information.
Oh,
Come
my
on.
God.
Quick.
Well, to my friends, I was drunk and texted them, I think I might be gay, and they said, bi or full-on gay? And I said, I think full-on gay. Mm-hmm. And then to my parents, it took years and years and years, and I said at dinner on Mother's Day, like, after we had been, like, passive-aggressively fighting for, like, the whole weekend.
Come on.
So you guys want to talk about gay stuff or what? And that's how I came out to them.
Did they know what you were talking about?
Yes, because they had found my journal years before that chronicled all my sexcapades when I was 21 in Chicago.
Cool. Most traumatic moment of your life?
Oh, my God.
Most traumatic moment of your life? It should be front of the brain. Come on.
I bury these things.
Bodies?
No. A dramatic moment of my life?
Come on.
Oh, my God. I mean, it was probably like a dog dying or something.
Fine. Deepest, darkest fear. This is the front load. We're front loading. Come on.
God, this is so hard. The deepest, darkest fear is
Come on.
dying some bad way.
Cool.
Fish and birds.
Fish and birds?
Yeah, fish and birds.
I like birds.
I don't. They're too unpredictable.
All right. How do you come up with your jokes?
I wait for them to come to me as if by magic.
All right. Here's the next segment. It's called What's Your Turge? Hold for bumper. What's your turge?
What's a turge?
Your detergent.
Oh, It's laundromat's choice these days.
Laundromat's choice.
Yeah.
They give you options.
They do?
Yeah.
I've never gotten options.
Well, you're not. Are you? How are you getting them? How are you getting your turge? What do you do?
I drop off.
Oh, okay.
I'm living the Lux life now.
And we've come to a fork in the road.
How come?
I thought the momentum was going to continue for this whole session of however long it takes to do this wash, but we have hit a standstill. Why do you drop off your clothes?
I started doing it because my boyfriend Misha does it, and it seems so much easier.
Yeah, but like I said, there's a therapeutic element of doing laundry.
So you're actively mad?
I'm actively mad.
What? I mean, I don't think there is. For me, it's like an anxiety because you have to like sit there, or you like walk away and are worried that your clothes are getting taken.
Well, you just sit there.
But what if you want to do stuff?
You're sitting in the corridor of dreams. All you need to do is close your eyes, and you're off in Never Never Land.
I mean, that's one person's take, and
Brett's take. What's your
Hold
turge?
for bumper?
What's your turge? No, hold for. That's not a segment.
could have been
What's your turge?
Brett's take.
That's not Brett's take. What's your turd?
Uh,
All right, let's say you're at home, and you go to the supermarket, like home as in where your parents are.
okay. So
if,
I'm
if
in
you
Michigan.
still talk to them. I didn't get to that point in the.
I still talk to them.
Okay, so you're in Michigan, running the supermarket. What's your turd? What do you buy?
I would just try to find the cheapest one.
Okay, I feel like you're just trying to piss me off.
Why is that bad?
It's just arrogant. Arrogant to think that any laundry detergent will do.
I would argue it's very humble.
Sam, you're a stand-up comedian in New York,
It's true.
among other things.
It's
You're a show creator.
true.
You are a charming individual. Otherwise, you do all sorts of things. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your comedy?
My comedy is has many facets.
Mm-hmm.
I do stand up.
Mm-hmm.
I run-of-the-mill jokes.
Cool.
Set them up, knock them down.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still stuck on the cheapest detergent thing.
Okay. Well, unpack that. Why are you so mad?
Well, that's a loaded question.
Front-loaded. Hold for bumper.
That's not a segment. It's don't hold for bumper. That's confusing the editor. No HFB. This has been something recently. I've started therapy,
Oh,
which is healthy.
that is healthy.
But my therapist said that if I want, she brought me to the observation, I should say, that if I want to do a fun, loose conversation with my friends in comedy about laundry, I should maybe keep the skeletons in the closet and save that for our sessions. So when you ask me why that makes me so mad, it opens Pandora's box.
Oh.
So why don't you talk about your comedy?
Well, apart from, your classic stand-up, I put on a show, it was called Live on Broadgay, which was a cast of gay male comedians, plus Joe Firestone reenacting an entire episode of Sex and the City. I think we're going to do another in January.
Hey, congrats.
Thanks. It's hard to talk about this when I can sense your searing right under the surface.
Well, the fact that I'm holding the table so tightly is not indicative of anger. It is indicative of me trying to find my base. That is another thing my therapist talked to me about is if I find myself about to shoot off like a rocket or like a washing machine, I need to find my ground, stay grounded, or stay turned off, and then let the next step come to me naturally, and not just be just spouting off whatever comes to mind.
Right.
Do you do therapy?
No, not currently.
Okay.
But I think it's a great thing. And one day, I'm sure I'm gonna get in there.
Her name's Janice.
How long have you been with Janice?
Just a week.
Getting a good vibe so far?
Getting a good vibe. I don't know if most therapy sessions start out, and this is inappropriate to say given the recent events, but guns a-blazing.
Yeah, that is inappropriate to say.
I now regret it. But I really came in just immediately with the Stuart Little related nightmare that I've been having for 20 years or so. And I think she was a little taken aback that I think she was impressed that I pinpointed the problem. But
Seeing the film Stuart Little?
there is a scene which we have gone over in great detail in the Michael Brucey episode of the podcast for Laundry, which I recommend you check out if you want to see a man figuring out who he is. Yeah, I've just been. I came out and I guns washing.
Arms wide open.
Yeah, and I figured it out. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. So Live on Broadway, that's one of your shows. One of many.
Yeah, it's true. I also put on this show with Bo and Yang called Lake Como High. That's a teen drama with all gay teens, and it's nuts. It was at the Annoyance, and now, who knows?
Who knows? So that means that the door is still open for more Lake Como High.
The door is still open.
Maybe interested parties. We've got some big wigs that big wigs in like the laundry world, I guess, that listen to this.
Oh.
So maybe that's not super helpful for your comedy show.
I mean, anyone that's a big wig, I'm interested in.
Cool. And then you do Future Forms.
And I do Future Forms.
I'd say the hottest comedy show in Brooklyn.
Oh, hush. It's a good show. I host that with Mary Houlihan and Julio Torres and Joe Rumrill. And we have a variety of guests on every month. The next one is October 30th.
Lovely. Who do you have on?
Right now, we only have a couple of people booked, including Joe Firestone.
Hey, I love Joe Firestone.
It's true. And then that might be all I know of right now.
Well, you should maybe be a little more plugged into your...
Well, there's 4 hosts, and it's everyone's responsibility. So,
who takes the bulk of the responsibility with that? Because we've had... This is now 3/4 of the Future Forms.
what did they say?
I haven't brought this up to them.
Oh, I think it's it changes from month to month.
When is your month coming?
Well, it's not like we don't assign it. It's just like this is my I'm gonna work hard this month because no one else is, and then another month.
Who works the least hard on the show? Let's get to the bottom of this.
I don't think that's a fair question. I don't think anyone works the least hard. We all work different.
Hey, we're gonna go play Give It a Spin. Hold for bumper. What are you spinning these days?
Spinning as in listening to music?
Yeah.
I've been spinning the new LCD Sound System album,
Oh,
American Dream. still stuck on Lord's melodrama.
Okay.
Um,
Now, one thing you have in common with James Murphy of LCD Sound System, I think, is that you both are very snazzy dressers, culture arbiters.
yes.
Culture arbiter. Does that make sense?
I don't
You know
know.
what I mean with
I'm-
that when I say that? I look at you and I see somebody that is plugged in, knows what's hot, knows what's good. The way you dress is really impressive.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Does James Murphy dress well? He's a culture arbiter, but does he dress well?
I think for a pudgy, going on 50 guy, he dresses really well.
That's true. I don't know. I think his hair does all the work.
That might be the case. But there's one thing. So I was a little bit. I didn't want to tell you that I brought you on for this reason, and I wanted to get the front load out of the way. To bring this up is that we've never really covered a very specific portion that's not necessarily laundry, but laundry tangential. And I know you probably came on this wanting to talk about laundry, but I thought this week we could talk about ironing.
It's quite a departure.
It's quite a departure, but I think it is part of the process. When you launder your clothes, they don't necessarily come out perfect. So sometimes you need to take it to the ironing board.
Okay, yeah, I can talk about ironing.
Okay, so do you iron your clothes? I never see creases in your clothes.
I almost never iron my clothes unless.
Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to do this. This is I Am Iron Man. Hold for bumper.
I can guess what.
Hold for bumper. So do you iron your clothes?
Sometimes. No, never, unless it's like a suit or something, and I have to go to a wedding.
Okay. So how do you get your clothes? What do you do?
I hang most of my shirts and pants.
So you're right out of the dryer, you hang them? 'Cause
Uh,
it seems like you do drop-offs, so you don't know how long that stuff is sitting there.
I usually drop it off in the morning and pick it up at night,
Okay.
and then hang it, and it's set.
All right.
So
Fair enough.
I am mostly not Iron Man.
Well, so that's a wrap on the Iron Man segment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for taking charge in that. I just felt like there wasn't much more to cover.
Because your clothes are always really spotless, and it's kind of a jarring thing to hear that you aren't an ironing guy or an Iron Man.
I just like, yeah. I mean,
Could you do a favor for me?
yeah. What?
Could you talk about, because that's pretty much all I prepared for the show, is talking to you about ironing, because this is like a real special for the show.
This was supposed to be the ironing special.
This was the ironing special.
You didn't come up with any more ironing segments?
I mean, I thought your clothes are always really crease free.
I wouldn't even say that's true necessarily. It's a little bit of a jump.
I pay attention. So just say you've got like an ironing board set up in your apartment.
Just say that?
Just say it.
Yeah, I haven't.
Well, so I've noticed that your clothes are always crease free.
Yeah, I've got an ironing board set up in my apartment.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because that actually brings us to our next segment. You know, we talk about laundry a lot, but I think we skip over a very important part of getting your clothes from the hamper to your body again, and that is ironing. So I thought we would do a segment all about ironing, a whole episode about ironing, if it, you know. I mean, you seem to be really confident about your ironing expertise. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is I Am Iron Man. Hold for bumper. And there's like a whole like
Black Sabbath.
I could have guessed.
Hey, Forever Dog listeners, it's Jonathan Braylock
Draw Milligan.
And James III.
from Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood. This year, we have seen what staying silent can do. And right now, you have an unprecedented opportunity to speak up, cast your vote, and be heard.
It's never too early to register to vote, but it might be too late before you know it.
We want to help make it easy for you to register and have a plan for November 3rd or before if early voting is an option in your state so that your country can finally reflect your values.
Yes, go to foreverdogpodcast.com/vote to register. Check on your registration often. You should do it like every day to make sure and learn how to fill out your ballot.
I don't know about every day, but listen,
Every day.
all right, still register.
Good. Am I good? All right.
Gotta make sure people care.
All right, each state is different, so make sure you're following local rules and regulations. And remember, your voice, your vote. That's foreverdogpodcast.com/vote.
Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Yeah, but y'all better vote.
All right, go vote.
Hey everybody, it's Andrew,
And it's Anna from Scary Stories to Tell on the Pod.
where we take you on a deep dive into the fascinating world of American folklore, ghost stories, hauntings, and urban legends via the classic children's series, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Thank you so much for supporting our network. Now please, please enjoy this episode.
Won't you?
Won't you?
Sketch Podcasting Code is being downloaded into your podcast right now. If you want to learn more, go to a different podcast called Left Handed Radio.
Welcome to I Am Iron Man, and we are here with our own Iron Man, Mr. Sam Taggart.
Hey, it's me, the Iron Man.
How's it going?
So good. How are you?
And by Iron Man, we should say not the superhero, but the
guy that irons.
guy that irons. So you're really into ironing.
Yeah, I have an ironing board in my apartment.
Mm-hmm. That's so. What are your tricks? Because ironing is hard. You know, there's all sorts of things that can get just attached to the base of the iron. You could burn clothes. What are your tricks?
Well, I think it's important to reach the right temperature.
Exactly. I think you see a wrinkled shirt and you're like, well, this has got to be the hottest the iron can get.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And use the steam feature properly.
Steam feature. You got to make sure when you heat up this iron that it's not just an empty vessel. You got to put water, and not just any water. Don't go to your sink because that'll ruin the inside of the iron. You really got to get filtered water. Make sure this stuff is clean.
And you apply the correct pressure onto the shirt.
And what kind of pressure is that?
A hard pressure, but and even all around.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you move it frequently
Okay.
and often.
How frequently?
You feel it out. Your hand has a natural rhythm.
Well, some of these listeners don't have the natural rhythm. I think a lot of people, and I don't mean to insult my audience, but I think a lot of listeners these days don't iron clothes the way that previous generations did. So what is that specific pressure? Speed.
You know, imagine the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. That's
Okay.
pretty accurate.
So that pace that Mr. Miyagi said, that wax on, wax off.
Uh-huh. That'll pretty much do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really helpful tip.
Thank you.
Now, how do you avoid getting burns?
Just make sure to be very cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what are fabrics that you don't want to iron?
Polyester.
Polyester. Why is that?
Well, I have an ironing board in my apartment,
Mhm.
and you can't use. Well, the fabric of polyester will melt.
It will melt.
Yes.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Why is that?
Because it's synthetic
Mm-hmm.
and
That's so interesting. As I actually have this silk suit, and it's got wrinkles in it, and I've always wondered if it would be safe for me to iron. Would you say it's safe for me to iron?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask, why do you have a silk suit?
I'm in a Prince cover band.
Oh, cool. You keep that really private.
I do keep it private because I'm not. Well, you know, when I say I've got a Prince cover band, and I'm a guy about town, you know, I'm a guy with a mic a lot of the time, but I'm actually just a second bassist.
Wow.
And it's like it's a 10-piece band.
That's big.
But I've got the suit, and you know, we don't play all the time because they don't always need the second bassist. But I've got the suit, and I'm a little embarrassed. Sometimes I go with the steamer, which I travel with. But, you know, it doesn't do a great job because it's just a travel steamer. What do you suggest as far as ironing goes with silk?
I mean, can I recommend just storing it better? Put a cotton shirt over it, and then do the same thing you would do
To what?
to the shirt, to a normal shirt.
Really?
Yeah,
Why cotton? Does cotton react better to the heat?
Brett, this is too hard. It's all a lie.
What?
I don't iron. I iron a medium
We
amount.
could just cut this out. What? How do I do? How do I iron? How do I get the creases out of this silk? Because the steamer will only do so much.
Well, you put the cotton shirt over it, and then
Cotton shirt.
yes,
And what does the cotton shirt do?
it acts as a barrier. I mean, I think they'll know that.
Stop fucking around!
Respect.
What does the cotton shirt do?
Acts as a barrier.
For what?
The silk
Okay.
to protect it.
Now, what about let's say I've got a shirt with synthetic fabrics in it, like a polyester.
Put a cotton shirt over it. Right? Why wouldn't that work?
Do you want to do the iron segment or not?
I don't think I'm the right guest for the iron segment.
Well, I asked you because your clothes are crease free.
Right, but
Do
it's,
you do that like the spray?
no. And I would even argue that my clothes aren't that crease free.
I pay attention to these sort of things.
Well, if you're noticing any lack of creases, it's from proper
Ask
storage.
Joe Rumrell about how to keep his clothes fucking crease free.
I don't notice creases in his shirts.
Looks like a fucking train motherfucker. Like sits on a fucking boxcar and sings little shanty songs.
Like, you mean he looks dirty?
He looks dirty. Clearly.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean,
Sam, I asked you on the show because I have a level of respect for you that was presumed because of, I thought, an ironing expertise and I thought a laundry expertise, but you were letting me down because you say you do drop off. You say you don't iron your clothes. You just let them hang after they've been folded for God knows how fucking long.
I usually know how long.
How long?
I mean, it's less than 8 hours.
Less than 8 hours. You know what? I murdered someone. I slit their fucking throat, and I know they were laying there for less than 8 hours. So I can presume they're not fucking dead.
That doesn't make sense. That's a jump.
It's a jump.
That's a jump.
How is it a jump?
It doesn't make any sense as a comparison. I thought I would just come here to be like silly and fun. I feel like that's
I'm gonna do a segment called Bleach Please. Sam, what in the world makes you go bleach please?
when Drivers are rude.
Your driver? My driver's being rude.
No, not my driver. Like when you're like out, like when like I biked here, for example. And when like the driver like zips around and is driving all crazy, I go, bleach, please.
Yeah. What else makes you go bleach, please?
Um,
When the iron's too hot?
No, I've never said bleach, please when the iron's too hot. Does the iron temperature make you say bleach, please?
All the time. Because sometimes you'll keep it at a low temperature, but by the nature of heat, if you don't turn it off after a little while, it'll continue to get hotter.
Oh, well, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you iron a lot.
What else makes you go bleach, please?
When people don't pick up
Asshole.
their... What? Did you just call me an asshole?
And we're going to do another segment called laundry DIY. Laundry DIY.
Didn't think that
Hold for fucking bumper. Excuse me?
being an asshole.
How am I being an asshole?
You're being actively... You're so aggressive.
I'm so aggressive.
Yeah. From the start.
From the start?
Yes.
How was I being aggressive from the start?
Even the first bit was like trying to make me uncomfortable.
How is it? Okay. Whoa. Let's rewind. Okay. How was I trying to make you uncomfortable?
You know, hitting people with like emotional, tough questions up top. Like that's not how you're supposed to do it.
I think it opens the your emotions. You're, okay, let me access this thing from the past. Now I'll be more present. Now I'll be more honest about the important parts of the podcast, like ironing, laundry, detergents, etc.
Well, I don't know if it achieved that goal.
Well, I don't know if you achieved the goal of a decent guest.
Well, I don't know if you achieved the goal of a decent podcast.
How would you know what, Sam? You seem to be the fucking expert about hosting a podcast. So why don't you do your version of the podcast for laundry, and I will be your fucking guest, and let's see how that fucking goes. Okay?
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, pretend that you are not listening to my podcast for laundry, but you have just tuned in to the initial episode for Sam Taggart's Laundry Cast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sam Taggart Laundry Cast. Hold for bumper.
It's just...
What's
your bumper?
I don't know yet. I'm going to work with a sound designer.
Start over.
What is this?
Start over. Start over.
Welcome to Sam Taggart's Laundry Cast. I'm here. What?
I'm just on board with you.
What?
I'm on board with you.
You're on.
This is Sam. Go. Start over.
Why? You're not going to be happy with whatever I do.
You'll probably do better than me because you seem to be the expert.
I mean, if I were going to host a
Start over.
I just don't even necessarily see the point of a laundry podcast.
Well, let's see how it goes.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to Sam Taggart's Laundry Cast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with Brooklyn's very own Brett Davis.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Sam.
Of course. So, how often do you do laundry?
I do laundry about 2 or 3 times a week.
Awesome.
I see the laundromat as a corridor of dreams. It's my place to get zen, to zone out a little bit, and think about what I need to do in life after I've done my laundry, of course.
Well, that's good that everyone needs a place of zen. I personally don't see the point of the laundromat as a place of zen, but
Well, if you've never used a white noise machine, it's kind of similar to that.
I don't like them.
What's your first segment, Sam?
My first segment is got change for this. And in this segment I give you a world problem and you gotta suggest how to change it.
Oh, cool. What does that have to do with laundry?
Well, this is your place of zen. I felt like maybe you could come up with some really good ideas.
That's true.
So I got change for that. I'm here with Brett Davis.
Is this a second podcast?
No, I am learning the process.
Don't let me be in the way.
Okay, well, Brett,
Dying to know what this segment is.
it's got change for that,
Uh-huh.
and everyone wants to know how would you how would you say Donald Trump has been as president so
Great.
far?
I mean, mixed reviews.
Okay.
Out.
I mean, we don't need to talk about how you said great. and then-
Misspoke. I misspoke.
All right.
It got change for that. I love that title of the segment.
Thank you.
It's cute.
Thank you. Our next segment is.
So we're just moving past the change segment. That's cool.
I just don't really want to hear what you have to say. I thought maybe you would be insightful, and maybe I was mistaken.
I'm woke.
I mean,
It's weird being on this side of the this side of the show.
is it? Tell me about that.
Well, why don't you do your next laundry segment?
Okay, this next segment is called Soap. Yes, please.
What? Soap, yes, please.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
In what scenario would someone have that discourse with someone?
If
Soap? Yes, please.
If you walked into
Maybe
a
there's a bathroom attendant, but not in a laundromat.
well, maybe. I mean,
I will. You know what I will say when I'm at the laundromat. Sometimes I am feeling a bit like Richie Rich, and everybody knows me there, and
you mean so it's more like Cheers.
whatever.
I
So
mean, that's pretty important.
I'm like Richie Rich because I'm sharing my bounty with everyone, and I'll see people just around and I'm like, soap, and they'll be like, oh, thank you, not yes please.
I mean,
So I'd love to hear what this segment's
if you're
about.
walking
I'd
around,
love
if
to
you're
hear what
walking
this
around,
segment's about.
if you're walking
I'd
around,
love to
if
hear
you're
what this
walking
segment's
around
about.
saying,
I'd love to.
if you're
hear
walking
what
around,
this, I'd love to hear what this.
if you're
segment's
walking
about.
around saying soap and they're responding to you, then this segment title's not that far off.
I'd love to hear what this segment's about.
Okay, well, it's about what was the greatest gift you ever received?
Well, when I was a kid, I would do the laundry for my family, and at one point, they said, "You know what, Brett, you've done enough." And I didn't know if that was a condemnation or congratulations for the good work. I took it as a congratulations for the good work, and my family moved away, and I moved into an apartment with a real weird uncle.
How old were you at this point?
About 16. So
So your family just moved away.
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
They went to South Jersey.
Why didn't you go with?
Because I had to stay in North Jersey.
Says who?
Well, I was just kind of finishing up my high school career, and didn't really have a great relationship with everybody. So I was with this uncle who's, I'll say, a drunkard, and he didn't care, what I was up to, and those were some wild times, and I think that was a gift too. This ability to just have these like crazy fun nights all by myself around my suburban town.
So the greatest gift you received was
congratulations for the good work.
Oh, not getting drunk with your alcoholic uncle?
I don't drink.
Oh, then what were the fun, crazy things you were getting into? It was heavily implied that you were drinking.
I would go into people's houses and look at their laundry setup. Sam, it's been great having you on the show. Do you have any plugs?
Check out Future Forms.
Future Form. Where can you see that if you're in New York City?
Throne Watches.
Throne Watches. It's a watch store?
It's a watch store during the day.
Mm-hmm. But a home for alternative comedy on select nights.
Yeah, select nights of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for being on my podcast, Brett.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
I've got some plugs.
Sorry, I forgot that part. What would you like to plug, Brett?
Well, I do a podcast on the Forever Dog Network. It's called The Podcast for Laundry, and it's also about what you talk about on this show. It's about laundry. I also do a show called The Special Without Brett Davis, which I do with a bunch of people, and they have resisted my laundry suggestions, but we'll see about that. And, I also make my own laundry detergent.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Since when?
Forever.
What's it called?
Called Brett.
Catchy.
I mean, it's just, I would write my name on the bottle, and people would be like, hey, you got any Brett? And I'm like, I think a lot of these are non-English speakers, so.
So you bring it to the laundromat and sell it?
I don't sell it.
You just give it out?
Mm-hmm. Soap, please?
Soap? Yes, please.
There we go. Thanks for listening.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. For more original podcasts, please visit foreverdogpodcasts.com and subscribe to our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Keep up with the latest Forever Dog news by following us on Twitter and Instagram @ForeverDogTeam and liking our page on Facebook.
Can you afford to not know what left-handed radio is? You probably answered no, right? That's where you landed?